Welcome everyone to Empowering Employers, the UFEZ Advantage. Today we are joined by Dr. Martin Mushumba, who is the Director Quality Assurance at the Higher Education Authority. Dr. Mushumba, welcome today.
Thank you and good morning.
Good morning to you too. The Higher Education Authority, who are you exactly and what is your core mandate?
Thank you, and that is a brilliant start for this discussion. It's important that we understand who the Higher Education Authority is. The Higher Education Authority is simply an institution that was established by an Act of Parliament. It was established in 2013. We started operating in 2015, somewhere there. The core mandate of the Higher Education Authority is we believe is to oversee quality assurance in the higher education sector. We are also a body that advises the government on matters relating to higher education. We are an institution, in short, of government that oversees quality assurance in the higher education space. Thank you.
In our space, specifically in Zambia, what does our sector look like?
Well, that's a good question. For now, I should quickly point out that we are work in progress. We are work in progress in the sense that higher education in Zambia is coming from a point where the regulatory functions were done by the institutions themselves. Issues of quality assurance, as we have come to know them, they were done by the institutions themselves. So they could decide to say, I think we are better. But this time around is a body, which is the Higher Education Authority, that tells them you're not doing enough in this area, or these are the areas that we must be focusing on.
Speaking of regionally, where does Zambia place in terms of our policy, our curriculum development, in terms of our performance and the quality of graduates that we're churning out in terms of the region and against benchmarking against international standards?
Good. Look, Leon, education as it is a global good. The graduates that we are producing in Zambia are not graduates that are just meant for our local consumption here. The graduates that we produce work internationally, they work everywhere. And I want to mention at this particular point, the beginning point is that even the quality assurance standards and everything that we do are not just something that we design from here. We design them, and even the learning programs that we produce, the learning programs that we develop, we produce them, we develop them with the view to train learners that are not just going to work here, but that are going to be competitive within and outside our circles, within and outside Zambia. We want to say that, look, Zambia enjoys the advantage of being centrally located. For now, if we had to tell you, the numbers are rising in terms of international students coming into our country in various programs, especially in programs like health and mining programs, where we are attracting a lot of students coming from within the region. But then again, this gives us the confidence to say that there is acceptability in terms of our education. There is acceptability in terms of our levels of education. What we are doing, we must be getting it right, and this is what is making us happy because we know that for sure parents out there, countries out there are rational countries. They wouldn't send students to a place where they know that the education standards are down. So for them to send them here, it means it's a testimony of the works that we are doing, that we are actually building confidence out there, that we are producing graduates that can work everywhere. So the learners that are coming from here, international students that are coming from here, they are performing in their countries. That's why these countries are still managing to send their students here. And again, I want to mention that, like I was saying, we have programs that are competitive, not just within, but also outside. So such that if we train the learners, they can come and train from our programs here, they'll still be able to perform elsewhere. Yeah.
Dr. Mushumba, what challenges are we facing in our education sector, higher education sector? What are your key priority areas, for instance, in the next year or 2 years to achieve?
Very good. Look, the higher education sector is faced with a number of challenges as we speak at the moment. Some of these challenges are not something that we can just fix within a day. Some of them we know is work in progress, and we will continue attending to them. What we are very excited at the moment is that we have the political will. We have support that is coming in from the government to try to attend to most of the issues that we've been facing. The critical areas that we are talking about as we talk about challenges in the higher educational sector is, first of all, we're talking about inadequacy of infrastructure around the institutions. Talk about the housing space in the universities, public universities. You find that we are getting local and international students, but we do not have enough accommodation for our students. Time and again, I think these issues have been raised. The minister is very categorical that we must get it right and we must fix the accommodation crisis in our institutions. The Minister of Education, Honorable Douglas Yakani, has been very categorical about this. That is a very serious problem. It doesn't just exist in the public universities, it's existing also in the private universities that do not have enough accommodation. That is not just about accommodation, also lecture theatres, modern lecture theatres. Number of our institutions out there do not have what we would term modern lecture theatres. Very few modern lecture theatres exist around these universities. And not just lecture theatres, we're also talking about labs, laboratories, adequate laboratories, appropriate laboratories to match to the needs of the courses, the learning programs that they are providing, and the courses that they are providing. We are talking about also libraries. They do not have adequate physical libraries, as well as digital libraries that we can talk about that are competitive. And this is these are challenges that we have in terms of infrastructure. We do not have adequate e-learning platforms within these institutions. So when it also comes to issues of technology, digital, we are talking about the digital era. We are still quite behind when it comes to investment in these infrastructure, modern infrastructure that will also help in one way to decongest these classrooms, because now would be with adequate investment in the ODL facilities, we'll be talking about decongesting classes, creating equally a very competitive environment where our learners can still learn outside the physical conventional classrooms that we know. We do not have quite a significant investment in that area to talk home about. We also have other challenges that we want to talk about, challenges in research and development. We do not have significant research centers, significant investment funds to allow our institutions to participate in research at the moment. A number of our institutions, when we look at the low levels of research that they're experiencing, when we ask them, the major issues that they point to is in having inadequate funding to support research. And for us, we feel there's a lot of room, especially for investors, to come and partner with institutions to set up modern research centers in areas like mining, areas like key areas like agriculture, health, and even renewable energy for now. And those will be issues that will be attending to problems of the day. We have quite a number of problems. The problems are too many. I don't want to talk about the issues of inadequacy in terms of qualified teaching staff in our institutions.
Platforms like the InvestZambia 2025 conference that has been curated by UFEZ is aiming to bring development partners together with stakeholders in our local industries. What are your expectations from conferences of this type where investors are coming to meet with you and hear what they can do for you?
Good, Leon. For us, we are actually very excited in the sense that we wish this conference came like yesterday, and we want actually this conference to be an annual event on our calendar. Look, we are talking about a sector that is filled with all these problems, and here is a platform where we're talking about meeting investors who we can talk to about the areas that we have just highlighted, issues to do with infrastructure, inadequacy in infrastructure, leading the investors into areas where we can discuss what if they could partner with our institutions or themselves, if there are those other institutions that want to come and set up. We're telling them, look at the opportunities that are there. We do not have enough facilities that we talk about in our higher education sector. Yes, we have the desire to develop, but we do not have maybe resources. You have the resources. Come with the resources. Help us in mitigating the housing challenge that we have in these institutions. Help us to talk about mitigating the issues to do with digitization in these institutions. Create, come in with tech companies that are going to support the institutions to set up adequate e-learning platforms, that are going to set up digital libraries, that are going to set up physical libraries, set up laboratories in these institutions. So the investment areas are quite rich in this sector. We are seeing everywhere where institutions, investors can come in and set up, partner with the institutions, come and set up, or even themselves set up the companies that can be targeting a number of these areas that we're talking about. We're talking about institutions coming up and setting up research centers in areas like renewable energy, try to fund research in these areas, health, education itself, mining. We have quite a number of areas where we feel they should be coming in. When you talk about whether higher education is excited about this, actually it's an understatement. We're talking about something that should have been happening every year. This is a platform for us. We're telling our institutions or our higher education institutions there that they must not miss such kind of a conference. They must be there, interact with the investors. Tell them the problems that they are experiencing. Ask from them in which areas they can partner, in which areas they can invest. Agree, strike deals just in this particular conference in key areas. Look, there are areas where we're talking about not having adequate classrooms. We're not having adequate or modern lecture theatres. We're talking about them not having sporting facilities in institutions, not having a lot of e-facilities in these institutions. How can they utilize this opportunity? They have to talk to the investors there. They have to face the investors, highlight the challenges that they have. Tell the investors that these are the opportunities that are there for them to invest. Create partnerships within this particular conference. The Higher Education Authority is very excited, and if we are given this opportunity, we'll talk about the areas that are actually available for the investors to come and invest in this country. We're talking about investors, not just institutions that want to come and establish institutions here, but also those that have the money to come and partner with the private institutions that we have, the public institutions. Also look at the opportunities of the public-private partnership model. Come and partner with the government to highlight some of the issues that we are talking about in infrastructure inadequacies, such as the construction of housing units for students. Come and partner with the government. The government is always saying we have the PPP model on offer. They come and join with the government and establish. You can imagine establishing 10,000 housing units within the University of Zambia, within Copperbelt University, and everywhere. And this is what we are talking about. So this conference is actually coming in handy for us. How we wish we are going to be seeing these conferences coming in every year, and that will be good. That will be good for us.
Dr. Martin Mushumba, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for your time as well. We appreciate it.
This has been Empowering Employers, the UFEZ Advantage, and we were speaking with the Higher Education Authority, specifically to Dr. Martin Mushumba, who is Director Quality Assurance. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode. We look forward to seeing you again next week. My name is Luyando Yoyo. Thank you so much.